How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well, man. Another video for you guys here today. But today's video is not going to be unlike my other videos where I'm doing stupid challenges, ripping packs, sweating out top 50 in ranked. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. This is a style of video I've never done before, but I thought it'd be important to make this video just to share some things that I've noticed in MLB The Show this year, some of the thoughts that I've heard from the community on my streams, in my chats, and my comments, and just really talk about the state of the game as a whole in my perspective. Obviously, in this video, there's going to be some stuff that you guys disagree with or agree with, but the goal of this video is to just really be as constructive as possible, where things can get better, and maybe some of the steps that MLB The Show as a whole can take for the future. Because before we get into everything, let me clarify. I genuinely love playing MLB The Show and making content on it. I started making content in MLB The Show 22, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all your support. And obviously, some of you guys watching this video have played MLB The Show way before me. So yeah, I know the title of this video is pretty straightforward, but I really do want to talk about why I have these feelings toward the game at this moment in time. Also, one more thing before I do start talking about everything. If you guys do not know, I only play Diamond Dynasty. I don't play Road to the Show. I don't play Franchise and any other game modes MLB The Show really might have. So I want to hear what you guys think about those game modes down in the comments. I want to hear what you guys are feeling about the game modes like Franchise and Road to the Show over like the past 3 to 4 years. Have these game modes gotten better? Have there been updates to these game modes to really make them like a lot more exciting for you guys? And also, are they more finely detailed? And what I mean by that, is there more stuff to do? Is it feel more engaging to you? Or do you really feel like it's just still stale and the game modes really haven't done anything in the past 3 to 4 years? What I'm going to be talking to you guys about tonight is strictly Diamond Dynasty focused. I've been thinking about making this video over the past few days, but I did not because they put a Classics pack in the Classics program, exactly what the MLB The Show community has been waiting for. I'll get into the details more on that kind of stuff here soon. But with that little tiny update of adding that pack in that program, it gave me some hope that maybe MLB The Show was listening to their community just a tad bit more and, you know, helping all players get some cards that they might not have the chance with in packs. But there was an update tonight that really made me want to sit down and talk about this stuff. So let me kick it off with what happened tonight. So there was an update the other day that streamers and players and everybody in the MLB The Show community noticed in Battle Royale, where rewards were now getting randomized. If you guys don't know what this means, so in my stream, for example, I have a spreadsheet. Essentially, what happened before is if you knew who your 2-win silver reward card was, you knew what your 10-win reward was going to be. Now, this year, I think that is extremely important in the Battle Royale game mode. I say this because now that they've shortened the Battle Royale to 10-0 compared to 12-0 in previous years, they also decreased the 4th reward. What used to be a 90+ overall live series is now a 87+ live series. So after this update, like I said, rewards are now being randomized. Now, that update essentially just nukes like a Battle Royale spreadsheet. Even if you know what your 2-win reward is going to be, you have no idea what your 10-win reward is going to be now. And before I continue, I'm completely fine with rewards being randomized as your 10-win reward, but the fact that almost half of the 87+ overall diamonds in this game go for less than 10,000 stubs does not even make any player in the game want to try and get 10 wins. If you know, for example, your 10-win reward is going to be 88 overall Michael Harris, which is currently sitting at 5,500 stubs at his sell now price. Granted, yeah, there's a few of these cards that, you know, it's perfectly fine. If you get Mike Trout or Mookie Betts or Shohei, that's a great run. If you get 10 wins and you go flawless, that's like a 250K run. But let me remind you, going 10-0 or 10-1 in Battle Royale is one of the toughest things to do in MLB The Show. And having the chance for your Battle Royale run to maybe only allow you to earn 5,000 or 6,000 stubs if you include the golds, the silver, and the bronze worth of rewards after like a 3+ hour grind to get to 10 wins, guys, that's just not worth it. The purpose of the spreadsheet was to draft a team until you got somebody like Shohei, Mike Trout, Acuna, because nobody wanted to waste their time playing a run to where even if you lost a game, you could be guaranteed 100K plus stubs if you were good enough to get 10 wins. Now, granted, I know a lot of people watching this video might not be able to get to 10 wins, but having a change like this with what's been going on early this year, which I will get into, just further pushes the narrative of MLB The Show trying to find ways to make money and really taking away our chances to make stubs in this game. For those of you that have played this year, you guys know this year it's almost impossible to make stubs for the most part. Unless you're flipping the market continuously. Before this update, getting 10 wins in BR and maybe going flawless, or making World Series when the rewards are expensive and selling them, this year it has been so difficult to make money in this game without being a very, very good player or spending countless hours, for example, flipping the market. And I hope you guys just don't feel like, even with a comment like that, I'm expecting the community to get like 100,000 stubs a day and it's super easy to get everything. I get it. It's an Ultimate Team style game mode and you want people to spend time in there, grind to get good, grind to get some good players. You don't want everything day one. I get that. But in this new BR update, you do not feel incentivized at all to try and be good at BR or the game itself, because you have the opportunity in some of your runs, 10 win runs, 3+ hours of gameplay. If you wanted to spend that money on packs, you would have enough stubs to buy 3 individual packs. For example, say you got 10 wins and your reward was 5,000 sell now stubs. Guys, that gets you 3 individual packs in this game. That does not feel rewarding. Nobody feels rewarded about that at all. And we're going to finish up the BR talk, but I want to read you exactly what the update said. Previously, rewards for each milestone, 2nd, 5th, 8th, and 10th win were determined at the start of the run. Some users might recognize what the 5th, 8th, and 10th win reward would be based on the reward identified in the 2nd win. Now the 2nd, 5th, 8th, and 10th win rewards are no longer tied together. Each will have its own pool of rewards independent of the others. It would be completely different if there was an option to where we got like a 50,000 stub voucher no matter what, if we got like 10 wins or something like that, or that the 10 win is boosted back up to a 90+ overall live series diamonds, where you're at least maybe getting like 30K, you know, 20 to 30K back in stubs if you get 10 wins. But right now, the fact that you could get 5,000 to 6,000 stubs for getting 10 wins in one of the most difficult game modes and difficult challenges in MLB The Show as a whole, man, I don't think it's right. But enough on BR. That's just one piece of the puzzle I just wanted to talk about. That's really what kicked off this video. Next up, I just wanted to talk about the options of what you could do in Diamond Dynasty in MLB The Show 24. So if we go into the play menu, we have 2 modes, single player and multiplayer modes. If we go into single player, we have mini seasons, conquest, showdown, and play versus CPU. And if we go into multiplayer, we have ranked, BR, events, play versus friends, and casual. Also, if we click on ranked, obviously we have co-op, we have 2v2 and 3v3, which is also a part of this. In my opinion, I think the choices we have to play in this game, especially in the online mode style of things. Like I told you guys before, my first real game was MLB The Show 21, where I played online and stuff. Like I told you guys before, the first MLB The Show I ever played like online and started to get a little bit competitively, made World Series and stuff, was in MLB The Show 21. So I don't know how long like this system of rewards has been in place. Like where you make World Series, get a World Series pack. If you go push beyond World Series, you get the 1,000 rating, you know, 1,100, 1,200. My point on that being is there has been no diversity in like online gameplay in forever, it feels like. Events at this point really don't excite people. You just want to get to 20 wins so you could, you know, get a set 1 collection card, like for example what you're doing this year. BR, you guys just heard the whole spiel on BR, but BR has been around forever with really no variety in how it goes. And then ranked, where you play against people around your skill level. And you know, for me, I've made top 50 and stuff like that. I've played the best of the best most games. But at the end of the day, what's the purpose of playing those games? For the past 2 years, once you make it past 900 rating to get your World Series card, which is very nice. If you get World Series in the first 2 weeks for this year, you could sell these cards for like 200,000 plus stubs, which is great. That's an absolute bank breaker. But after the first 2 weeks ends, as you can see right here on Jacob deGrom, this card is now going for 40,000 stubs max. And this price will probably continue to drop over the next few weeks until we get to the new ranked season and want to make that push to World Series, get some of the best cards in the game like Jacob deGrom and Mike Cameron. This card now sells less than like half of the 90+ overall live series cards. But after that, you get an 1,000 rating badge, which does absolutely nothing. But you can't do anything with it. It just stacks in your inventory. And then 1,100 and 1,200, you get a total of 70 packs and 35,000 stubs. You know, usually there's only like 10, 20, 30 people every season that make that push to 1,200 rating, sometimes more, sometimes less, just, you know, just an example number. The fact that you were rewarded with 35,000 stubs and 70 show packs that you don't even know that there could be a diamond in those. That could be 70 bronze cards. What is the incentive? With the new update to BR and the way ranked has been formatted over the past few years, you know, with packs and stubs and just not feeling too rewarding, truthfully, what is the point of wanting to get good at this game? For the people watching this stream, I guarantee you a good chunk of you, if you are good enough to make World Series, you probably make it to 900 rating and then stop. Because this was the perfect transition into the next thing that I wanted to talk about. And that is the Legend gameplay side of things. You know, some things on the list that about Legend gameplay, and maybe just gameplay in general, that a lot of people talk about. First things first, foul balls. There's way too many. It makes no sense in my mind. Maybe it makes sense in your mind, and maybe you could just roast me on this in the comments. But how is it easier to get foul balls if you were very early or very late on a pitch compared to a good timing swing? To me, that just makes no sense. Like I said, maybe it makes sense to you. But in my opinion, if you have better timing in the game, that should give you a better chance to get a foul ball. Not a very early or very late. Another thing I think are the bloop hits this year are more than ever. I think there's a lot of bad hits that get down based off of bad PCIs and bad timing type swings. And, you know, for all levels, BR, All-Star, you know, Hall of Fame, and Legend, I think it happens at all difficulties. And another thing out of many, I'm not going to talk about all of them, is sliders outside to same side batters and the PCI shrink that you have to deal with. For people who have noticed, if it is a righty on righty batter and you get a slider outside that hits that low and out corner, your PCI will shrink on pitches even inside the zone. And sometimes even with the best hitters in the game like Babe Ruth and 97 overall cards with 125 power, those swings are like less than 100 miles per hour. They go straight in the ground, or it's just a little measly fly ball. Sometimes you'll get lucky and a few of them will get through, but sliders outside to same side batters, it makes no sense to me how PCI shrink can happen on pitches inside the zone, and they have genuinely been terrible. Like, sliders outside have negatively impacted gameplay so much at all difficulties, in my opinion. Legend mainly because there's so little room for error, but there's no way around it. It does not make sense to me in the current state of gameplay how sliders outside to same side batters, lefty or righty, even if you take the most perfect swing possible, it feels like a good chunk of the time you don't get properly rewarded for it. And that is a big thing I think this year's game and, you know, previous games of MLB The Show have not fully developed the idea of. And me just about to say this, I'm going to get people in the comments and people that you guys already think, oh, it's just baseball, it happens all the time. If you want to create a competitive game that has a skill gap, the RNG side of things like perfect outs, bad hits like, you know, little bloopers over the second baseman, or 75-mile-per-hour ground balls they get through on like a very late or an early swing. If you want that style of gameplay, I think that style of gameplay should exist in simulation modes like franchise, and if you want it in like Road to the Show as well. But in ranked seasons, in Battle Royale, in events, there are too many games this year and, you know, in the past where sometimes RNG just completely takes over. There have been games that I've won and there's been games that I've lost where, you know, I've outplayed my opponent or my opponent's outplayed me. And it's just been like the opposite outcome. In my humble opinion, I think perfects 100,000% of the time should equate to a hit or a home run, however you want to do it. To me, this is just one thing I'm a strong advocate for. To really start to create that skill gap, you just have to reward the people for when they're doing good. If I green a shot in 2K, I do not expect to miss that shot. And you don't this year because I had my perfect shot timing on my release. And in MLB The Show terms, if I have the perfect PCI and the perfect timing on my swing, or if my opponent has the perfect PCI and perfect timing on their swing, I expect to get a hit, and I would expect my opponent to get a hit. Sometimes that's just not the case. I think there's a lot of things that could be done on the gameplay side of things and the overall structure of like ranked and battle royale and events. I could really just create some excitement in the game modes and, you know, kind of rejuvenate them. But also, I think it's way past time that we get some style of new game mode in MLB The Show. For example, give us a weekend league. People love engaging and trying to get good at games, and I think a weekend league would be absolutely perfect. Sports people are competitive, and people who play this game are competitive as well, and I think people would absolutely love like a weekend league style game mode. Another one I've seen tossed around by content creators and community members is a game mode kind of like a salary cap game mode, where, you know, you have to strategize and choose certain players that you like using to create a team and, you know, go compete for something. But within these current game modes, like I said, the one I play the most is ranked, and I think one of the easiest things they could do to really create some life and some feeling of incentive to want to get good at ranked, want to play beyond 900, is to completely demolish what you have and truthfully follow something like FIFA has with division rivals, or Madden has with their ladder system where you go up to Super Bowl. And depending on how many games you win or lose, or, you know, how much time you play and hours you put into it, you get better type of rewards. The incentive to be good at this game, I feel like, is at an all-time low through gameplay, ranked rewards, BR rewards, and they're just stabbing themselves in the foot. Staying in the ranked game mode for what I wanted to talk about next is something that I feel like a lot of people would enjoy more is co-op. Ever since co-op was introduced in the tech test, and I think MLB The Show 22, if I'm correct, there have genuinely been zero updates or zero ideas to make the co-op game mode better. Besides, I think in MLB The Show 23, adding the co-op rewards program, you know, pushing the World Series in co-op. I think in 22, it was just kind of like a play with your friends game mode. In 23, I do think you could play ranked as a competitive game mode with friends and stuff like that. Still, I think the state of co-op as a whole, with the lack of its players, the game-breaking gameplay issues that you see in co-op, overall instability of servers between players, you know, cross-play and stuff like that. Co-op could be so great for content. Co-op could be even better for playing with friends. Co-op could even be better for streaming, for like stuff that I do. But the state of co-op, in my opinion, is so bad. Where every game, just like last year, you see Randy Johnson, John Donne. You see all the same pictures. There's no PXP for your players. Co-op could be in such a better state. I don't think there's any way around it. And when they had their live content update, I think before the game even came out, where they announced that co-op had not been touched from 23 to 24. To me, is just so extremely disappointing for a game mode that could really be awesome for everybody in the community if it worked right. With MLB The Show not having like a 2K type of game mode where you could hop on My Career and go to park, play 3s, play 5s, the only co-op game mode being 2v2 and 3v3, and having it run so poorly just sucks. You know, there's a few other things like in that whole plethora of stuff I just talked about that I really didn't touch on, but, you know, just stuff like tournament issues, you know, that kind of goes back to the whole thing of not really pushing the competitive agenda in this game, where a lot of tournaments last year had to be delayed and pushed back, and it just kind of put a bad stain on what MLB The Show as a whole was capable of in that side of things. And that also goes to the gameplay world, where I just really don't think this game is in a perfect competitive state. And also, for example, just back to the stuff where it doesn't feel rewarding for like playing Battle Royale to get 5 and 6K cards, where mini seasons is actually like the best way to get cards and XP and packs and stuff like that. And you could do that on rookie difficulty and like repeatable missions. To me, it absolutely blows my mind how little Johnny can get rewarded better for playing on rookie difficulty in mini seasons compared to the 1100 and 1200 rating player only getting packs, or going 10 wins in BR and getting 1 diamond. It blows my mind, really, like the lack of care to reward the players that are actually good at your game. And by no means, this is not meant as a shot to any mini seasons or offline players that play like Conquest and mini seasons. Do you? Hey, heck, I've opted into mini seasons and I've gotten repeatable balling as a habit packs to where I've ripped them, and I was able to pull Shohei from one of them. But that's my thing. And the time it takes to, say, for example, get 10 wins in Battle Royale, let's just say 3 hours. Right now, like if you hit 15 home runs in the TA1 mini seasons, on All-Star, you get 4 ballin' as a habit packs every single time. When I was stacking up those packs, it took me around 25 to 30 minutes each time to get those 15 home runs. Give or take, I know it'll be easier or harder for some people, but that means I could get 24 ballin' as a habit packs-ish in the time it takes to possibly get a absolute horrendous 10-win reward in BR. The much harder thing to do in the game. I mean, who is not taking 24 ballin' as a habit packs over a measly possible 10-win reward? It really is crazy how backwards the ideology is of that. The last thing I really wanted to talk about in this video that's been a common theme across this year's MLB The Show, and maybe you guys knew this topic was coming, which is packs. If we go into the pack market right now on MLB The Show, obviously we got some free packs, which is awesome for like a 94 Altuve, some millionaire packs, but then we start getting into some other choice packs, some captain's pack, you know, obviously the bundles with the chase packs and Jordan and headliners and all that kind of good stuff. More packs than honestly we've ever seen from MLB The Show, which is awesome. But one thing everybody in MLB The Show has always loved about them, through programs and other methods, there's always been a way to earn packs. There's always been a way to get players if you're good or bad at the game. They've always had a very good balance on like how to earn content and new cards, which has always been awesome. This year, it's completely done a 180. This year, more than ever, we have seen new choice packs, and for example, these Season 1 awards drop packs, which are around 30,000, 40,000 stubs. You know, the Classics pack right here is 40,000 stubs. But as you can see, let's just take a peek at one of the season awards drops for Ronel Blanco. There has been no way whatsoever to earn any of these season award packs through any of the 5 drops that you see right here on the screen. And if we go to the current one, we see 95 overall Tanner Huck, a very easy card to earn, which is great. But with the release of a 95 overall card in the program and no way to earn the pack, we've seen MLB The Show start dropping packs that have even higher overalls than the current player you could earn, which is fine if there was a way to at least earn a no-sell pack in the program that you're dropping for that drop. The first one that they did that people were super excited about was this pack one. You know, they dropped a Show Classics pack in the Classics program once it was released. You know, we saw nothing in the Egg Hunt program for those Egg Hunt cards. We saw nothing in the Spring Breakout stuff. I know those cards are cheap now, but at the time, Paul Skeens and Jackson Holiday and cards like that were 80, 90,000 stubs. Just goes to show that this year in MLB The Show, it's really just been how to make people spend money and to get stubs, to maybe buy packs to get good players, which is just never really what MLB The Show has been known for. Spending money for in-game currency has been something that's been seen in like 2K and Madden and FIFA. Game modes now that it feels like a lot of the player base is unhappy with the way things are going and how to get good cards. And, you know, just the unexplainable amount of money you have to spend to get good things in the game. Not saying that 96 Kyle Tucker is a game changer or that 96 Cal Raleigh is going to bat 1,000 on Legend, but MLB The Show, truthfully, I think is just trying to find ways to make people spend more money. But for example, if you're going to release a Season Awards Drop 5 program, the least thing you could do is put in like a no-sell card for a chance to get the 96 overall card that you put in a pack. I know I've been yapping a lot in this video, and it's something I've never really done about this game. You know, I yap a lot on stream, but sitting down and actually making a video on my thoughts on where I stand on the game right now. And I do love MLB The Show at the end of the day. Out of all the sports games I've played in my life, I think MLB The Show does a lot of great things that a lot of other sports games just don't do. But with the themes of gameplay not being so great, no incentives to really get good at this game, taking away methods to get stubs in this game, pushing narratives to buy packs and spend money. If the theme continues and some changes are not made, I really do worry that MLB The Show 24 can be one of the worst, if not the worst, game in the franchise's history. I hate to say that out loud because I genuinely do love MLB The Show. I cannot appreciate every single one of you guys enough for watching this video and, you know, supporting me on all my other content, whether it be pack openings, challenges. Like I said before, you guys have supported me so much, and this is my favorite community that I've ever been in. And to see the love you guys show on a daily basis, it's absolutely amazing. But at the same time, for myself and for every single one of you guys watching, I think this game can be better. I think there's some easy changes that they can make in this game, and they just keep shooting themselves in the foot on changes that just aren't necessary, that push people away from the game as a whole. And you know, I do worry about the new college football game coming out this summer, where I think a lot of the sports gaming viewership is going to be pushed to that new game. It makes me worried about the longevity of MLB The Show 24 and what it could actually handle, because with the way things are going, I think people are going to be so inclined to leave this game arguably quicker than ever. If you guys have made it this far through my yapping, I cannot thank you enough, you absolute studs. And let me know your thoughts about stuff I said down in the comments, whether you agree or disagree, whether you now hate me or maybe you're on my side and you agreed with a few things I said. If you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, we are pushing towards 10,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. And if you enjoyed the video and what I had to say today, make sure you guys hit the like button as well. So yeah, that's the end of my yapping. Peace out, Trod Squad. I love you guys. Goodbye.